Is it time for Canada to move away from being a constitutional monarchy, given in light of what's happened to the former Prince Andrew today on his 65th birthday, being arrested? Just the sort of the downfall of the British monarchy and Canada as a constitutional monarchy where the king is the head of our state and that we are tied to this. Is it time for Canada to reevaluate? The king is Canada's head of state. The governor general represents the crown here. The monarchy is embedded in our constitution, in our constitution. And so the arguments can be made for reconsidering the monarchy at all. It symbolizes our tie to colonial history, the desire for Canada to have its own head of state, and perception that the monarchy feels distant and out of date and out of touch with modern civilization. Should we continue to have this constitutional monarchy in Canada? But it's woven into our constitutional framework. I mean, it is hard to undo what we are in terms of our constitution. Our indigenous treaties in Canada, many of them are signed with the Crown, not with Canada. Our constitution, for us to disengage, would have to be redone. And when you talk about Canada and you talk about constitutional reform, what comes to mind is Meech Lake and Charlottetown. And those didn't go very well. And then the big question is, what would we look like afterwards? What will we put in place to replace our constitutional monarchy? We would need the House for it to even begin to be a thing. We would need the House of Commons would need to vote to move in that direction. The Senate would then have to vote, and then the biggest thing, all 10 provinces would have to agree. So, like Alberta and Quebec would both have to sign the same papers. All 10 provinces would have to agree. 10 provinces don't agree on anything, well, very much. So it's very, very challenging. The easiest change would to become a ceremonial parliament president. So, like Ireland, Germany, Italy, India, they have a president which is basically a symbolic. So, we would have a president to replace the governor general. So we would cut ties with the king and the British monarchy, and we would eliminate the governor general's role, and we would insert a president which would not be elected but would be appointed by the government, and it would be very ceremonial. The president wouldn't have any power. The rest of our government would stay the same. And these democracies like Ireland, Germany, Italy, and India, they function in the same manner, where they are not tied to the King of England as the head of state and the British monarchy. It's a question. It's out there. I mean, I don't know if it's the biggest issue. Certainly with Alberta threatening to separate and Quebec talking about it, and those right now with our constitutional monarchy, there are things within that constitution that are going to make it hard because we're talking about crown, and especially when we talk about indigenous treaties signed by the crown, not by Canada. These are very real things. Provinces can pretend that they're not a thing. They're a thing. They're a legal thing. So it gets really complicated. We haven't had very good luck as a country on our constitutional reform. And so, but it begs the question with the news today, should we remain a constitutional monarchy tied to the King of England? What do you say?